my God, it was so funny. I will tell you a story. So we were sitting at the beach. I mean, it was not a beach, but it was a beach. But it was not the sea. It was a lake, but it was a beach. And we were sitting there, and we had a guitar with us and everything, and we were just chilling. And then there was like this man. He came up to us, and then he asked us, I'm searching for like the charge for my charger for my phone. Have you seen it? And we're like, no. And then he saw the guitar and he was like, can I play something? He sat down. We thought, oh my God, maybe this man is like a very genius musician. He was absolutely not. He was clearly drunk, but we were just like, okay, YOLO, like let's just see
Sure.
what happens. And he started singing and playing the guitar. He could not sing, and he sang all these songs, and we were just going along with it. It was a vibe, like we did it for an hour. But the funny thing was, he was playing the guitar, but he couldn't keep rhythm, so the rhythm was like we played Perfect by Ed Sheeran, but the
Okay.
country version with
There's a country version of it?
like I mean, we
They
made
made one.
one with like 10 times the tempo that it needs to be, like perfect night, and then with clapping and everything.
Okay. Was it like a church vibe?
It was a party.
I mean, it was not like a church vibe because he
Aw.
was just a drunk man singing. And every time, every time that he started playing and we recognized the song, and so
Mhm.
we started singing. And then he was like, no, 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 I'm not ready. And then he started playing, and then he just took the lead, and we're like, okay, we're just following now. But he couldn't keep rhythm, so it was going fast and then slow and fast and slow and fast and slow. I mean, it was the most interesting version of all these songs that you ever like. What?
I love
And
that.
at the end, and then he wanted to sing "Me Gustas" too, like da 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 da. Me Gustas too. It was so weird to do that on the guitar, but sure. And then we sang Coco, like we sang "You Make Me Un Poco Loco."
I love it. I love it.
This man, he was on fire. And then he said, yeah. And then he told this weird, vague story about him going to France and meeting up with random people that he didn't know in somewhere, and then having sex with a girl. And then
Okay.
while they were having sex, one of
Okay.
the like the bed broke and everything. And,
Slay.
and then he said that he was going to Croatia, like in
Croatia?
the morning, the next day to Croatia, but his phone died, so he had a problem. He said he couldn't find his charger, and he had been looking for it for 2 hours, and his friends probably worried where he was, and then he took off.
So someone
So
went to France at the end of the story. Someone went actually to Paris
what?
and had sex.
I mean, he did.
Yeah, yeah. So someone went.
Yeah.
Not you, not your friends, but the guy.
Someone
Yes.
went and came. I don't know. I don't know the story, but like that's
He's a drunk
Yeah.
guy. Went. So Pa was at the beach, but it's not actually a beach. It was actually like a lake. And a drunk guy came because he was looking. Also, why are you looking for your? Okay, it might fall off the backpack.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but
he was
it was
looking for his
such.
charger, and instead
Yeah.
of keep looking for the charger, he took Pause and her friend's guitar and started playing the country version of Ed
Yeah.
Sheeran's "Perfect." And then he
Yes.
started to tell them that he once went to France and met
Yeah.
random people, like he was doing at the moment, like he was with random people, and had
Yeah.
sex with one of the girls and broke the bed.
Yeah.
How do you break
Exactly.
a bed? How do you break a bed?
I'm just being louder because you're usually the first one to say
Okay.
hi.
Okay.
So
let's
I
start
was
one.
waiting for you.
Okay, sorry. Give me 1 second.
Hi.
hello, hello, hello.
Bolengore min vän. Min vän.
Coffee, remedar.
Dega. How are you doing, guys?
All good, all good. Working a lot. What about you, Bao?
very busy weeks, but you know what? Summer is here. Woo! So we're gonna just try. We're gonna enjoy it by working and having a lot of fun and sleep a lot.
Oh
That's
yes,
nice.
sleep.
That sounds
I
really
miss
nice.
sleep.
Gracia, are we going to have vacations? Like you work. No, like you work.
Like you work. Yeah, I have vacation in 2 weeks. I have 2 weeks vacation, and I'm going to London.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. So I
baby.
just need to survive 2 more weeks, and then I'm off to London, babes.
So you guys have summer vacations. I'm going to have winter vacations in 2 weeks also, and I'm going
That
home
is so
finally.
weird.
That's so
That
weird.
is
I'm so
fucking
That's
weird.
excited.
so weird. Oh
I
That
my.
have
is fucking weird.
we have a group chat where we talk about where are we going to record and everything, and they are always saying like, "Can we do it at 14? What about 16? Okay, we're doing it 16." And maybe I'm going to write, "Okay, so at 9 o'clock," and they're like, "No, no, 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 at 16." And I'm like, "Guys, I don't live near you,
Dude,
Yes, there
dude."
is this time difference, you know.
And
please.
season difference. That's so weird.
Yes, that's very weird.
But
Anyways, we'll
anyways,
manage.
we'll manage. We're going to survive our exams and work
Yes.
thingies. But today we're not going to focus on that. Okay, we can actually focus on that because we're going to talk about mental health
Yeah.
and how are we doing. And
Yeah.
talking about mental health, everybody has a different experience when it comes to life. So this
Mhm.
is not something that you should base on, or you can feel relate to, but don't think that because we feel one way, you should feel that way about stuff.
Exactly, Pilar Seleno. Wow, you're so smart.
I
You're
know,
People
so
right?
listen
smart,
to her.
Billy. Fuck
Oh
yeah.
my god, thank you so much.
You're
Like,
doing amazing, sweetie.
thank you. I'm
That's
trying my best.
also a very big important thing, folks. Confirmation from your friends. If you feel like, actually, my friends like they never like support me, or I never feel supported, or they never tell me like you're doing a good job, or I'm proud of you, or they never, in that way, then
Mm.
I don't then you should have a real good talk with those friends, and if they don't want to change their behavior, you should throw them out of the window. And now I'm
Okay, we're
from
not.
Texas, apparently.
Dump their ass. Anyways, since you guys are having like exams soon, like there's
Yes.
probably like a lot of stress and everything, and it's been 2 weeks that we haven't seen each other.
Hmm.
So like, how has it been? How is it going? Like with the stress of like you have to go through exams. Like yeah, Peter, like you're about to throw everything away.
I took a dumb decision. This is my first semester in university, and everybody told me don't take more than 3 classes or 4 classes. Pilar decided to sign up in 5 classes because she's dumb. And now I have 2 exams in the same day. I had 2 exams last week. It was a lot. But I guess that I'm just trying to manage. And one of them is like I'm retaking it because I didn't pass in the first try, so I'm going to try to pass now. So things are easier like right now. But last week it was like a hurricane. I didn't have time for anything. And every time if I went out with someone or with a friend, I hate this about me because if I am going through a stressful week, I don't want to go out, or if I do, I'm going to be checking the time all the like every second, and I'm going to be like, okay, so we are going to have lunch for an hour, and then we're going to talk for another hour, and then I'm going to study 45 minutes. Like everything is so
Planning
scheduled.
everything, yeah.
Yeah, everything
Ah,
has to be like up to the last second. It has to be planified, like planned and everything.
yes, and that's so stupid because then I don't
Yeah.
have
Well,
a
but
life.
again, you're also going back. You're not stupid or dumb. You're just an overachiever, apparently.
Yeah. I guess
We're gonna say
that's
it
true.
nicely, Pilar. We're talking about mental health. Jesus fucking Christ, love yourself.
That's the message.
Love
Love
yourself,
your
people.
fucking self.
Love your fucking self. That's yes, that's my quote. Thank you very much. With that, I'm
Thank
out.
you. Thank you, Gracia.
I did
But
my
yeah,
job.
it's been stressful, but I'm trying to at least sleep. That's
But isn't it like,
Pretty. That's the bare minimum.
because I used to do that too, like planning everything up till the minute. But that gives me like a lot of stress too. Like then I don't have like then I'm stressed because of what I'm doing, but I'm also stressed when I'm like doing something for an hour when I planned it for like only 45 minutes, you know? So how do you cope with, do you have that then, that you're stressing, like if
Yes.
you planned I'm gonna do that for 2 hours, but then you're doing it for 3 hours, and then you're like, oh fuck, now I'm like behind for an hour. Like for me that causes even more stress.
Yeah, I actually I was talking about you guys about that because it's actually shitty. It's actually really dumb because I don't know. I'm watching a show and I really enjoy it, and then I watch another episode that I didn't plan, but it just happened. Oh my god, it happened, and then I feel guilty about it, and then I don't
Yeah,
allow myself to do. I don't know, to take my phone and watch a TikTok for
yeah,
5 fucking seconds, and it's actually pretty dumb. And I don't. For example, if I had a birthday of a classmate, I am like, you're not going to go because you missed 3 hours cleaning the house,
yeah,
and that's just fucking stupid because
yeah,
your
yeah.
life, I think that for most students, your life is not attached only to your university. You can
Mm,
also, you are allowed to have friends and you're allowed to do things for yourself and go out,
mm,
but it's really hard to like allow, at least for me, because I'm a pusher
mm,
of myself. It's really hard to accept it and to say, yeah, that's okay, you can do
mm. No, yeah,
something
for
else.
sure. I recognize that. Like, I feel like a lot of people recognize that feeling the guilt. If I'm doing this, I feel guilty about not doing that.
Yeah,
And the question is, how the fuck do we cope with that, you know?
if I had the answer to that.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
but
People, like everyone that's listening, we don't have answers. We only have problems, you know?
yes, we're trying to solve them.
Another wonderful quote right there. We don't have solutions, we have only problems.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Um,
It's true. It's very true.
It's very true, actually. But
But
coping with
basically, like
guilt,
the question is, with what do you call, like, with what is it that we're looking for, like the coping mechanism? Like, do we want to cope with stress, or is it the guilt that it generates not doing or getting things done in time? Like, because if it's stress, it's an absolute bitch. Like,
yeah.
I think it's mostly the
you,
guilt.
I mean, the thing is that the guilt is, I think, one of the worst feelings that you can feel. In
Yeah.
Mm.
like complete honesty, guilt is horrible.
Yeah.
Um, but I feel like it's all a matter of how able you are to forgive yourself for not doing
Yeah.
the things that you were supposed to do. Also, because if you keep punishing yourself for watching another episode or for cleaning the house, there are some things that are necessary.
Yeah.
You know, if you
Yeah.
to calm the stress need to watch another episode because you need to relax for 30 more minutes, you should do it without feeling guilty because you need that so that you're able to then keep on studying or keep on focusing. Like, you're not ever going to be able to study for like 5 6 hours straight with no breaks. You're not going to do that.
No, no, no. Also, this is for everyone. I don't know if it is for everyone, but it is for me. Have you seen those Pomodoro videos? That are like,
Yeah.
study with me for 9 hours. Study with me for 15 hours.
Yeah.
No, that's
That's
not real.
crazy.
That's not real
That's
for me.
insane.
This 1 hour or 2 hours max, and then I have to
Yeah.
change and do something else and then come back. Because how
Yeah.
the fuck are you studying for 15 hours, my
Yeah.
mate?
That's girl. Like I made. I mean, I didn't study for 15 hours, but like last semester, I made the mistake of like for 3 4 weeks straight studying from like 8 in the morning till 11 at night without a lot of breaks, just going and going and going, because I thought that's what I'm able to do, that's how it works best for me.
Mm.
And I crashed, you know, right in
Yeah.
front of the exams. I crashed. Just and but I had that too, like the guilt from the moment that I was looking at my phone for a bit too long, or I was pausing for a bit too long, then I felt this guilt. And then I start working harder, like if I was trying to make up for that guilt, you know, if I lose, if I pause an hour too long, then I have to study an hour more, you know,
Yeah.
because I have to compensate it. But that's just bullshit, because it's right what Gracia says. Sometimes you just need that hour more. You don't have to compensate every, like it doesn't have to be in balance. Sometimes you're working more than resting, and sometimes you're resting more than working. Like I just felt like last semester I felt it needs to be in balance. And you
Yeah.
know what? And sometimes it just work needs to be more than resting, which is a very big mistake, because if you're, because that got me crashing, and that's what, like, and that's why this last semester I had to take it really easy, because my, it's actually really, it's a really magical thing almost, how your body can tell you things that your mind doesn't want to know. You know, your body is telling you, I'm exhausted, please stop. And
Yeah.
at a certain point, if you don't give attention to it, at a certain point it just says, okay, I'm crashing now, fuck you, we're not doing anything anymore. And
Yeah.
it's at, when you're at that point, you know you fucked up, because you should have rested before. And it's not about should or have to actually, but I mean, sometimes I feel like I sometimes have to almost pressure myself to say, okay, no, now we're gonna rest, instead of working and working and working and working and working.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the times we worry so much about like how hard we work, like working hard to get to the exams, working hard in general, just like pushing yourself to get the best grades and everything, and then you suddenly forget completely to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
also the thing is, if you kill yourself studying, at the end of the day, you're still killing yourself. Like you're not doing anything for yourself. How is your brain gonna process an immense amount of information and facts and everything that you're gonna have to not memorize, but like you're gonna have to be able to know for the exam, for example, and then your brain is not going to be able to process all of that in just one go.
No, of course
Mm.
not. And also we have this tendency to the one who works the hardest is the one who deserves it the most. I don't know if you feel
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
this,
yeah.
if you work hard, you deserve it. Well, maybe some people they maybe not. Also, what are we trying to achieve? What is always number one, the goal, trying to be the best and whatever. Like, why do we do that? Like, why can we just settle of being a number four or a number five? That's also good.
Yeah.
Also, the fact is that it doesn't matter like how hard you work or whatever, you still deserve to take some rest. You deserve a good nutrition, and like you deserve to put fuel in your body. You deserve to be able to go on a walk if you need to clear your head without worrying like, oh, it's gonna take too much of my time.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
yesterday, I started to like analyze it because yesterday I allowed myself to go outside to buy some post-its because I was running out of those, and it took me 15 minutes. And I came home and I was like, that was not enough. I needed to be outside a little bit more. So I don't know, there's this pressure that no one puts because at least in my case, I don't have my parents or someone from my family pushing me to be the
Mm.
best. It's just myself,
Mm.
which
Yeah.
is kind of weird. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know yet how to take it off, how to not feel
No.
the pressure. And also at the same time, I act outside when I talk to people. I am like, I don't feel pressure at all. But inside, I am feeling guilty for doing something else. You know?
Yeah. What I try to do is, when I some there are like days that at the end of the day, even though I did a lot of things, I just my mind is just focusing on the times that I was not doing what I needed to do, you know, and then I feel
Mm-hmm.
shit at the end of the day, even though I did things. So what I try to do is then just writing down all the things I did that day. And when I did that, I look at the list and I'm like, okay, this is actually quite a long list. And then I feel better, because then I can see visually what I did. Because when it's all in my head is just taking over and the guilt is taking over. But then when I see the list, I actually think, okay, that half an hour that I was on my phone, it seemed so big a second ago, and now it seems less big because I can actually see what I did today. That
Yeah,
helps for me. That's what I'm trying to do.
that's a good
Um,
one.
I think that's a
yeah,
very good one. I mean, I think that it's also very important, like, to be able to, if the list is not that long, it's also okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
But that's like the hardest part to accept. It's a very good way of, like, so your brain stops being a bitch to you, basically, so that you can just, okay, I've done so much today. I have done what I could do. I've done what I felt like doing. I did everything that I could for today. And
yeah,
this is the list. And it's
yeah,
okay. It doesn't
yeah,
matter how long it was. It doesn't matter, like, of course, when it's the longest it is, it's gonna be better. Like, in your brain, it's gonna be
yeah,
like more. You're gonna forgive yourself easier.
yeah. That's true.
yeah, that is
But
true.
Yeah,
it's still important to. It's okay if you only went for a walk, bought groceries, and studied for 3 hours.
yeah.
May
Like,
not seem like much, but it is.
yeah.
It is a
I
lot.
Yeah, I experience with myself too, but that's just me that I actually have to, like, out loud tell myself it's okay. You've done this, you've done this, you've done this. Then you haven't done that, or you have done that instead of that, but it's okay because you needed that, and your body needed that. So I don't know if it would help people, but if you've never, I'm I'm too much, personally, I'm too much in my head. There's too much happening in my head, so I have to take it out of my head. I do that by writing and by talking to myself. And maybe people think you're crazy when you're talking out loud to yourself, but fuck those people. It helps because then it for me then it is like someone else is talking to me and is saying it's okay. And I experience when I'm talking to friends or to other people that I care about, and I ask their opinion and they're talking to me, that helps a lot because someone else that's someone else that's not my brain is talking to me and has an opinion too, and then my
Yeah,
brain is not just taking over everything. Then there's another person saying it's that, or I feel like that, and that helps. So it's not only talking to other people, but it's also talking to yourself. Like, don't feel crazy if you're talking out loud to yourself. If you're standing and looking in the mirror and like, yes, this and this and this and this, don't feel crazy because sometimes you have a person to talk to, or sometimes you don't want to talk to a person. Then talk to yourself, but
Mm.
don't keep it all in your head. Like, you need to, like, put it out there, and then you can actually look at it. That's what helps for me.
I think that's a really nice way. Actually, I do talk
Yeah.
to myself a lot. Like, how are you doing? Just
Yeah,
checking in with her,
yeah,
with my inner self.
yeah,
That's a really nice way to do it.
yeah,
How is it with work? Because we have been talking about exams, and I know that Pau, you also work, and Gracia
yeah,
works.
yeah.
So does it come with stress? It's like,
Uh,
Um,
hmm, Good question. I think I find myself being more exhausted than stressed. There's been a lot of, like, hard day work, like, like, you have very hard weeks, um, where you feel like you are the one that is supposed to do everything at work. So I feel like I have to go ahead and, like, not only do my job but also try and do someone else's, because summer is here, everybody wants holidays, everyone wants to go on vacation, and it's completely understandable, but a lot of the people just, like we say in Spanish, tiran la toalla. That is, they
just
just
give up.
they just give up, basically. They're just like,
Mm.
okay, I'm tired, not gonna work, and there are some things that need to get done.
yeah,
Yeah,
um so I think that it's more like, oh god, I don't want to do this right now, but I have to, because if I don't, nobody else is gonna.
yeah,
So it's more like the having to, okay, just another push, basically, and then you get
yeah,
to come home and relax. So thankfully, the type of job that I do doesn't follow me home. Like, it's not like I'm
yeah,
teaching and I have to
Mhm.
prepare a class or something like that. It's more like I go, I work, come home, die, and
Yeah.
just relax. Just relax and watch the show if you want to watch the show, but have a little bit of a routine, cook something, have lunch, have dinner, something like that. So I feel like it's stressful while at work. I don't experience stress while at home because of work. I'm only like, God damn it, why can't people do their part? You feel it's more like the frustration instead of the stress. It's like I'm frustrated with the people or people not doing their part, and it's like, God damn, why?
Yeah.
Understandable.
But that's like about like it. What I can really say about it.
I feel my work is when I'm working in the shop. It's not necessarily stressful, or at least it's not the same stress as the stress that I'm having for school. It's it's a good kind of stress. It's the kind that, okay, so I'm working and I know it's going to be a long day. It's going to be 9 hours of work, and it's going to be, I mean, I would have to be social and be in contact with people, and that can be really exhausting sometimes. But I know there is gonna be a reward afterwards. Like I know I'm gonna feel good when I get out and I get home. Like what Gracia says. Like there is the stress at work, but you don't. I mean, I don't take it with me home. Luckily, and yeah. So my work is good, and I really, so that's why I really like going to work, and I think that's a really good thing for students in general, because I mean, some students have to work really hard and work a lot to pay their college or whatever. So that's another situation, I feel like. But for people in my situation where the parents pay the school, and so I'm going to study just for my own things, for traveling, for going out and everything. But I feel like it's a really good thing to get out of the school stress, to like do something productive, but also, getting out of the stress. So you're not sitting at home chilling and feeling guilty for chilling, but you're doing something productive. But when I get home, I can just sit and chill, because I did something productive today. I did something with my time. I earned money. So I think it's a very working as a student is a healthy thing to cope with your time, and to experience some kind of stress that is not related to school. So you're not constantly under the pressure of school. So that's why I like having a student job, actually. I mean, I'm lucky with the student I have, because some people have a shit workplace. So that's another situation. But you get my point.
Yeah, I get your point. But when it doesn't come to school, work, whatever, are we stable? Is there something that makes you
Are we stable?
I mean, do you consider yourself like a mentally stable person, basically? Like, would you consider yourself as someone that is very mentally ill, that struggles a lot?
I mean,
or not?
Who in the world is ever mentally stable? Like,
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, yes, but there are a lot of people that are very, like, that are not, for example, mentally ill, that they don't have an illness, like
Of course.
depression could be or something like that. So I feel like everyone struggles,
yes.
but some have it easier than others. It's like everyone struggles in their own way, and everyone has their own battles that have to go through. Doesn't matter, like, of course, we have to acknowledge some people have it worse than others by circumstance, for example, but not necessarily that doesn't minimize, or it doesn't make it less valid that someone else is feeling bad or feeling like they're not good enough. Like, all of the feelings are completely valid. All of the struggles are valid.
Yeah, of course.
True.
I guess what you were trying to say is that there are some people who had mental illness, and that's shitty, and like get help if you need it, if you feel like you might have been struggling with something more than that is a little bit harder than normal feelings. But also every human is I understand what you say, that some people don't struggle that much. I don't know how they do it, but also I guess that sometimes it's really nice to, I don't want to say that they fake it, but some people, at least for me, there are some stuff that I would like to deal with it myself. It's more like lonely struggle than to expose it somewhere else. I don't know if I'm being
I mean, yeah, but I also like, I mean, I completely get what you're saying right now. Like, some people decide to have like their struggles and their battles in private, and some other people have it easier talking about them, because like that can also be a cathartic thing. That can also be something that helps them process with their own thing. And I'm not saying like, I'm not saying that some people struggle more than others, like because having mental illness or anything. Because again, you can be very stable, you can have no mental illness, and you're still going to struggle if there's something that comes up. You may be a little bit more prone if you already have, I don't know, like a depression, that it might hit harder and that kind of thing. That's kind of like what I mean.
No, of course, yes. Okay, yeah. Of course. I think, yes, there are some situations, for instance, I have family members who have mental illness, and there are some situations that are really, I don't want to say dumb, but not that important for others, but for them it's really like a kind of depressive
End of the world.
The end of the world, or they have to close themselves up, and it is really difficult to, also it's really hard when you are a family member of this kind of mental illnesses like anxiety, depression, bipolar disorder. You don't know how to react or how to talk sometimes, because everything can be a trigger, and that also affects your mental health, because you're all the time going to be like, am I going to say it right, am I going to say it wrong, is this going to fuck up all the happy day that we are having? And that's also something that people should talk about. We talk a lot about the individual who has the illness, but there's also a part of the family or the friends who are around that person that should also get a little bit of you're not born with a book of how life is and how you should act. But sometimes that can be a struggle for me, for instance. But I understand what you're saying. Some situations are harder for others because of illnesses. But I guess that every human has to experience at least once in their life a really deep down, shitty, depressive, sad moment of life, because that makes you acknowledge all the good things outside. Like, you're really down on the hills, not down on the hills, down on the dumps, and then you get up. I think that it is necessary sometimes.
I mean, I feel like it's just part of the human experience. I feel like it's also part of the human experience to sometimes feel low or just feel like you're about to hit rock bottom, and that's also okay. And it's also okay if it's very fucking hard to get out of it. Like, it's so hard for most people to actually be able to, because it's not like, oh, just be happy. Right, thanks. Like, thanks, you cured all of my issues. Yay! No longer depressed.
Yes, there's this toxic positivity going around. Like, just be happy, live, laugh, love. Like, life is so easy. No, it's not. It's shitty. You're going to
and I mean, like, of course, it's wonderful that some people can have such a good, like, view of life. It's just, like, it's beautiful, but there's also the reality that some people have it harder. Like, again, not because circumstance, because it's harder to see the positivity in stuff because of their struggles or whatever the fuck. Like, I can be like, oh my god, life is wonderful one day, and then the next day I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna get out of bed, never, ever again.
And you know what? It can also be both, because for me personally, I feel like I feel all the time that life is really beautiful, and I feel really grateful that I can be alive. But I also feel all the time at the same time that life is very hard, and it is, and I have these days that I can't can get out of bed. But for me, that's also a really hard thing, because like we're talking about the two extremes, right? We're talking about the
Mm.
one extreme, that you're very depressed and you can't get out of bed and you don't see the beauty of life anymore. You don't see it. And then the other extreme is that you see the beauty of life. You want to jump out of your bed and you're very happy, blah 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 blah. But there is also this, there's not one way in the middle. There are like a lot of ways in the middle, but there's also
Yeah, of
this
course.
way in the middle where, and for me, that's a very hard thing to cope with, because there's also this way in the middle where you do see the beauty of life, but you don't know. Like, it's like you're in this tunnel, and at the end of the tunnel, you see the light, you see there is beauty, but you
Mm.
can't get out of this dark hole you're in. But you don't want to go backwards either, but you want to get to that beauty, you see it, but it's hard for you to get there, and it's hard for you to feel good in the beauty that surrounds you. And that's because when people describe this depression, it's a lot of time this one extreme or the other extreme,
No,
either
yeah.
very sad or very happy. Either you want to die, to say it very rudely, like to say it very extreme, or you're very happy. But sometimes, for me at least, I can be surrounded by beauty and be very happy, but also feel very sad without wanting to die, you know? And
No,
I
yeah,
feel,
of course.
and that's a very, for me at least, it's a very hard battle, because how am I going to feel good in this world around me while I'm struggling to feel good? But I also don't want to die, because I think the world is too good. Life is too good. That's a very big thing of mental health too. Like, you want to get there, but you don't know how.
Mm.
Yeah, well, I think that it's also like a very like again a very extreme to just like clarification. Being depressed doesn't mean that you automatically want to kill yourself of yourself.
Yeah.
Just a, a small clarification. Um, because again, human emotions are hard to describe or hard to live through. You can be in the middle part, like you said, Paul, like just being like, I can appreciate the beauty, but I don't know how to fully enjoy it, maybe, or like fully be
Yeah.
present at that moment.
Yeah.
And that happens so much, I feel, to so many people, that it's just important to know that that is also okay,
Yeah.
that that happens to you. It's okay to not be able to fully enjoy life at a certain point. Like, as long as you are able to keep pushing forward and try your best to eventually do so,
Mm. Also,
I
Yeah.
feel like it's
I
not
have
like just be happy. That is
no,
not
no,
gonna fix your
no.
problems, but the you can be happy. You will be happy. That's like a more like no pressure. Just keep doing what you need to do to get to that point.
Also, I guess that
Mhm.
that's like the experience of being alive, like not having not all the answers, and also being sad and happy in different moments. I really
Yeah.
don't. I do understand that we're using a super extreme example of depression. Like, I don't want to wake up or anything. I don't want to live. I had moments where I just wanted to lay down in bed and let time go. I didn't want to
Mm.
die or kill myself or whatever, but I just wanted to
You know,
other
I
people
just
to take
wanted to
care
be
of
in
whatever I
bed.
had to do.
Mm.
Yeah, or else you can get mad. It's really different. But I also think that the extreme of be happy all the time or having this mentality of you have to appreciate every single moment of your thought, that's
Mm.
bullshit. Because
Yeah, of
then you
course.
create another kind of stress that is everything has to be perfect and happy and smiley and
Yeah,
that's
true.
not true.
Yeah, true.
You're
No.
Because it's
yeah.
like, because society is designed to get out of those moments that you feel crappy. Because I mean, for me at least, when I have those days that I just want to lay in bed, which should be okay, then I feel bad about the fact I'm laying it, and I feel like I should get out of this mood as fast as possible. I feel like society, okay, I feel like we've come to the point that society is saying it's okay that you're feeling that way, but get out of it as soon as possible. So go
Yeah.
to a psychologist, go to a psychiatrist, go to a therapist. Like we have three different things to get out of those feelings. And people actually do need help. These three people that you can visit are very important. Like I'm going to a psychologist. I'm going like, and it is very important, but it's also important. It's also okay if you can't come out of your bed that day. You don't have to listen. You don't have to listen to society. You don't have to like grab all the ways that you can get out of those feelings as fast as possible that society is handing you. I feel like we're just searching for ways to get out of those feelings as fast as possible. And also, like, when I went to a psychologist, like, it took me a long time to get there, because first of all, I didn't feel like it was bad enough. That's also a thing.
Yeah.
I
That's
feel like
another thing. Yeah.
it's designed, those, like, a psychologist, from the moment that you're saying I'm going to a psychologist, it feels like you're already in a severe depression, but that doesn't
Yeah.
have to be at all. First of all, that, and second of all, it costs a lot of money. Of course, a lot of people can't afford it, but that's also a thing. Like, I feel like that's playing in my head. I have to be okay as quick as possible, so I don't have to pay as much
And you
money
have,
as I have to
yeah.
pay. And maybe those problems are silly, but they're still in the head of a lot of young people this age, this generation. I'm sure of that. So we need to tackle those problems, because that's you can't just not go to a psychologist because you feel like the money problem is too big, or you feel
No,
like
not
my
true.
problems are not too big.
Every problem is a problem, and every
Yeah.
problem has a solution. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a problem. But also, I feel that if you have to take your time. You shouldn't do things fast.
Yeah.
Like, I know I am conscious that I need to go to therapy, but I don't want to go now because I don't feel that it's right. I don't feel that it's the moment. Like, I need a little bit more time with myself, and then I'm going to search for one. Like,
Yeah.
take your time. Don't worry about rushing.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, don't live in this life of, it is a lie to be happy all the time. That's not true. That's not going
Yeah.
to happen. But yeah, anyway, I don't know.
It's a hard topic, because it's very big, and it's
And
a
it's
hard
very
thing.
personal. It's
Yeah.
It's
very
so
depending
personal.
much on, because a lot of people probably would completely disagree with what we've just said.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
and that's
And
okay.
that's completely okay.
Yeah, because
Like, who
everyone
are we
has
to
their
judge?
own, also everyone has their own experience with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Like
all have different experience here.
some people may experience a lot of anxiety, some people may experience a very heavy depression, maybe some people have other type of diagnoses that
Yeah.
make life a little hard.
And also how you express it. Because there is some people who are
Yeah.
going to smoke just to get by. There's people
Yeah.
who are going to cut. People with eating disorders are also part of how you represent your depression, your
Yeah.
anxiety. Also, there's a really pretty good big spectrum of what could be.
Yeah.
And also it doesn't have it. Another thing that I want to talk about, because we've made it a part of our identity, I guess, in our generation mostly, that if you get a diagnostic of depression, anxiety, or any kind of illness, it doesn't have to be mental illness, it can be anything. It doesn't define you. It's not that that's your whole personality. You can be, you are more than your sickness, because you
Yeah.
are a whole person. That's just a part of you. Don't make it, oh my god, I am a depressed persona and I'm going to act like a depressed persona, even though I don't feel like that. Like, don't force yourself. If you have depression and one day you are feeling good and you're actually wanting to
Yeah.
do something totally different, don't feel like you're defined by
Yeah.
a word. And I
No,
mean it
but
in
I think that
every
it's
sense.
also But I think that it's also very scary for like a lot of people. I feel like it's very scary that you view yourself as, for example, going with the same example, depressed. So who are you without the depression when you've been struggling with it for so long? Because it's not only that you've made it part of your personality or part of who you are, it's just it would probably change your whole being. Like if suddenly you were able to not have it anymore. Like there's a lot of people that struggle with something, and then once that struggle is over, it's kind of like, okay, but what do I do now? Who am I now that I am free of this kind of thing, for example?
Yeah, but I don't mean like it never finished. It
No.
goes through your life all the time. What I'm trying to say is that if one day you feel good, like don't feel guilty about feeling good. Don't make it part of your routine. That's what I'm trying to say, because there is people who
100%.
And I don't think there is only mental illness in a lot of stuff. Like if I am part of this community, I have to fit into a box and talk in a certain way and act and dress myself. No, that's not it. You can.
Yeah.
We are humans. Everything is different depending on the hour. Allow yourself to experience other stuff. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say, like, if you have anxiety, you don't have to be the anxiety person for your family or your group of friends. No, that's not. No. Like for my friend, I am the anxiety one, but because I am all the time trying to manage time and trying to like be ahead of everything, that that doesn't define me. That's just a part of me. And well, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. That was my piece, guys. This is it. Bye now. See ya.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I'm always right about that.
Yes, it's true. People, Pilar is always right. Please,
yes.
If you have something to write down, or if you have your phone, write it down right now. Pilar is always right, and that was a lot of right. What the fuck is this with the English language? Like they're not original. Sometimes. Yeah, and they're not original with their words. Like they use right for everything. Like okay,
right,
but right, I know right, but that on the side. Oh my god, we're rhyming now, people. I don't know, what did I want to say? I wanted to say that we should allow ourselves to have a lot of sights. Exactly. And now we're like moving into the chapter of boxes, which is another whole conversation. So I mean, yes, sure, but I mean, yeah, it's true. If you have struggles, you are not the struggle. If you are gay, I mean, you are gay, but
if you're gay, you are gay.
If you're gay,
you are gay. Yes, I'm gay.
But it's, I mean, I'm not trying to like compare people with depression with gay people. Oh my god, this is getting too political.
How you're just being problematic. You're being so problematic, pal. Like,
okay,
guys, oh my god.
Episode Pao is not going to be here.
Pao got cancelled.
I okay, people are gonna cancel me, but
no, but I understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah. I just want to say, if you're one thing, you can be another thing too. If you yeah, I'm not gonna use comparisons anymore, because I feel like it's not gonna work. You're saying. Yeah.
No, but we as human are like very versatile. We are allowed to fit in plenty of boxes. The fact that you fit into one doesn't mean that you're not gonna fit into the other.
Yes.
You can be plenty of things at the same time. You can identify with a lot of things at the same time. So it doesn't matter as long as it makes you happy. God damn.
If you want to be a part of the cult with the witch hats, you can also be a part of the cult with the
be a witch.
Old hats.
Be a witch.
You know, it doesn't matter.
Wear a pointy hat. It's okay.
As long as
if it's a part of you.
White hat club, that's all good.
Oh anyway. That's illegal.
Okay,
that's
and
illegal.
So this is a part, dear listeners, where we're like only saying rubbish. It's not making sense anymore. But
welcome to the chaos. Enjoy.
I really understand what Pao is trying to say, but I'm not going to say it because I'm not going to get canceled. Pao, you don't have. No, I get him. But I understand what you mean. Yeah, it is true. If you feel like one part of the LGBTQ, I'm so dumb.
Wow.
LGBTQ plus community, you don't have to act in a certain way. Like you don't have to fit in a box.
Yeah, like I see all these TikToks
In
of
any
like
kind.
I see all these TikToks of like people saying, you know, that one person in the group that is like always happy, you know, it's that person that is actually very depressed. Like all these TikTok videos
No,
of
that's
like
not true.
or like videos where they say, "Oh my god, I was planning on being depressed today, but then something nice happened and I was happy." But
What?
then I was like, "Oh no, I should have
You
been
have it in your
depressed."
schedule. You have it in your
I have
agenda.
yes,
Today I'm
people.
depressed.
Okay,
I see
Monday 26th. Today we're gonna be depressed.
but
Thank
you know,
you.
Isn't
I
it
see a
in
lot
the
of
Grinch that he has like a list?
yeah,
Yes,
okay,
yes,
but that's
I'm booked.
you know, but I see a lot of TikToks about that, and you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
that
you
could
said.
be that the happy person is actually depressed, and that could be that you were planning on being depressed, but then something nice happens and then you're happy. But why should those stereotypes exist? You know? Yeah,
I don't know. Talking about TikTok, people, if you see in TikTok that they are telling you these are 3 signs that you are depressed, these are 3 signs that you
oh
have
my god,
anxiety.
Don't
ignore it,
believe that.
No, that's
ignore it.
you know how many mental illness I have by now because of TikTok? No, that's not
Yeah,
true.
it's yeah,
Like
but so that's what I'm trying to say. Like 90% of what people are saying on TikTok is not true. Like
it's not
if
true.
people are presenting so many stereotypes on TikTok, it's actually it's overwhelming. It's crazy. Like also all these videos like if a boy does this, he likes you. What the
No, maybe
fuck?
he's being friendly.
It's not
Yeah,
like
also like there are just some of them that don't make sense.
yeah,
Like,
like
oh my god, he looked at me twice while we were talking. He
yeah,
likes me. All
please
right.
Boyfriend and girlfriend?
in
Oh yeah.
general please
No,
don't let
don't.
TikTok define you with all the stereotypes that they're showing and
There is so many.
all
There
the
is
I
so
mean
many.
please it's like that has something to do with mental health. Don't let TikTok diagnose you, you know?
No, go
Please
to an
don't.
actual therapist
Yeah.
Yeah.
to
I mean,
diagnose
if
you,
you
not
are
TikTok.
struggling, if you're struggling with anything, like remember that there's a lot of people around you, that there's people that are willing to listen, whether it's a professional, like always, if you feel like it's something completely serious or something that you would like to try, therapy is something that it's very good for a lot of people. Like I've done it since I was like 15, 16. Amazing. Love it.
Yeah.
It's something that I can recommend from my personal experience. But if you're struggling with anything in particular, talk to a friend, like try and talk to family if that's what you need to do. But
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
that everyone struggles and everything is valid and whatever you're feeling is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, also because everybody struggles doesn't mean that your struggle is less than everybody else's. It's equal. I mean, we
Yeah.
struggle in different ways, but all struggles are valid, like Gracie said. Also, if you see a TikTok that there is something that makes you be like, maybe I had this, it can be helpful, but just don't diagnose yourself. Like, don't just say, okay,
No.
if TikTok said that I have depression, then I am a depressed person. No, you're not.
Yeah, or like
No.
these are symptoms that can be related to ADHD, autism, bipolar disorder. Just if you're really curious because you feel like a lot of them really resonate with you, talk
Also,
to someone.
they're
Mm.
Yeah,
very general.
go. Yeah, just try and talk with people because people are willing to listen, especially now in this day and age. Like people are willing to listen about mental health more than ever
Mm.
and talk
Okay.
about it. So there's nothing to be really afraid of.
Yeah. You know what? We need to do a whole ass episode on TikTok and the effect
Yeah,
that
TikTok
TikTok
is
has.
for another
Oh
day.
yeah,
This-
because it's spreading and
That's
stereotypes
another
like
wow.
so big. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
mental illness.
just always remember that it's valid, whatever struggles you have. Uh, ask for help if you feel like you need to.
Yeah.
Take time for yourself as well. Like you said, Peter, like sometimes you're not ready to go to a full-on therapist. try and spend time with your own self, with your own thoughts, even though they can be scary. And
Yeah,
just, they are scary. But I think that it would just be remember that people are willing to talk about it now more than ever. So it's always valid. Everything is valid.
Yeah.
Everything is a song. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Val,
Yes.
anything you want to add?
Is there anything that I want to add? I think everyone copes in a different way. So also, like, if we're telling you like, try to find a way to cope, then try to find your own way. Okay, if a psychologist is not working for you, you don't have to do that. Like Pilar was saying,
Yes.
it's not working at this moment for me. If some people are taking an extreme, some people are going for 3 months hiking in the hills of whoever where, just by themselves in the mountains, just hiking and only with themselves. For some people that works. If you feel like, I'm not in the mood to walk on a 3,000 meters high mountain, I'm just too scared, I don't want to do that, then you don't have to do that. Okay, so find your own way. Don't feel pressured to be the person that does a very extreme thing to deal with their possibly extreme emotions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do what
Yeah,
works for
like,
you.
Whatever works
Yeah.
for you in a healthy way. Not everything in excess is good. Remember that. And also, I don't know, cigarettes, drugs, things that are not healthy, they are not the best way to cope with stuff. So have that in mind.
Yeah.
Don't fall
Please
into
have
those
that in
because
mind.
have that in mind because it's really hard to take them out.
Yes.
And yeah, so we talked a little bit about mental health. We didn't really go deep in each one of us, or really
Yeah.
go deep in, because it's a really broad topic. But we really didn't go deep into something specific. But I guess we have like a general idea. Maybe in next episode
Yeah.
we can talk about, like we say, maybe talk about TikTok, maybe talk about, because mental health changes all the time, especially in women who menstruate, in people who has menstruation. It changes every fucking week, at least for me. We can also talk about that one day if you guys want.
Yeah. You know what we'll do? We'll put okay, we're gonna be real influencers now. Listen to this.
Okay.
Listen to this. We're gonna put something on our Instagram story. Like, we're gonna put these
Or like
questions.
voting for the next episode's topic.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
or like because Pilar was saying it's a very broad topic. So what we're gonna do, what I think we should do, is putting a question: what subject within the big subject of mental health would you guys like us to talk about? But like a very specific thing that we can talk about within mental health, because it's such a broad object, and
That's a
then
good
we will
one.
talk about it. I know, right? Oh my god! So we'll do that, people. We'll do that.
Yeah, we'll do that. I like that. But yeah, that was everything for today.
Yes.
I hope you guys had fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
And take care of
Thank you for
yourself.
listening.
Thank you for listening.
Always a
Thank you
pleasure.
for coming back.
Yay.
Follow us.
Yeah.
And see you hopefully not in another 2 weeks. Hopefully we will be able to keep the 1 week rhythm.
Yeah.
Let's pray.
I guess we can. Maybe. Question mark.
And
Please.
and you know what? If you heard this 4th episode, then you probably heard the 2nd and the 3rd one. So thank you very much. We appreciate it. So we'll expect you for the 5th one.
Yes, you better.
Thank you.
All the
Okay.
love.
Bye, bitches.
Bye bye.